All right, so in a previous video, we looked at factorising these ones. So I'm not going to go over that. So x squared plus 8x plus 7, when we factorise that, we find two numbers that multiply to be 7, which is clearly 7 and 1 because it's a prime number. And then when we add them together, it's plus 8. Now, if this is a plus and this is a plus, it's going to be all straightforward. But we saw that if we made them both minuses, what happened? If we made them a plus and a minus, we get a different outcome. And if it was a minus and a plus, we get a different outcome. So what I'm going to show you is a simple flow chart that will help us work out what is what. So we start off with the first question. What is the sign before the constants? So the constants, so we're looking at these equations, the constant is the number without a pronumeral. So if it's a plus or if it's a minus. If it's positive, we go down this side. Then we look at, if the both signs are the same, it's going to have to be x plus 1, x plus 7, or x minus 1, x minus 7. So you'll see here that the signs in both equations are the same. Now, if it's negative, so like in these two equations, we know that our signs are going to be different. So it's going to be a plus in one side and a minus in the other, or a minus in one side and a plus in the other. So back on the positive side, if we've got, so now we're looking at these two equations here, the signs are going to be both positive or both negative. So our next question is, what sign is before the coefficient of x? So the coefficient of x, so these are our x terms, this is our x squared term. So the coefficient of x is this number here. So we're looking at where both signs are the same, so these first two equations. So in this one, it's plus 8, the coefficient of x is plus 8, and in this one, the coefficient of x is minus 8. So if it's positive, both signs are positive. So here we have a positive, and here we have a positive, so our answer will be both positive. So x plus 1, x plus 7. And that's all there is to it. Now, if the coefficient of x is negative, minus 8, it means that both of our signs will be negative in our answer. So when we factorise it, both of our signs will be negative. So that's when both signs are the same in both sets of brackets. It's positive, and that's how it works. So now, if the constant is negative, so in these two equations, the last two equations, our constant is negative, we go down this side. One of our brackets is going to be positive and one's going to be negative, but you need to work out which is which. So then we look at what sign is before the coefficient of x. So same question, but it gets a slightly different result. So we're looking at the plus 6 and the minus 6. So we're looking at these terms here. If it's a plus 6 or a plus, we've got a positive answer. So if it's positive, the largest number will have the positive. So it will be plus 7 because 7 is bigger than 1 and the 1 will be negative. If it's negative, the largest number will be negative. So minus 7 and plus 1. So let's see how that works with a couple of examples. So working through the flow chart. So here, the first thing we look at is our equation. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to be 20 and add to be minus 9, or 9. So the factors of 20 are 20 and 1, 10 and 2, 4 and 5. So obviously 4 plus 5 is 9, so they're our numbers. So we draw up our brackets, x squared, so we have an x in each bracket. Our numbers are going to be 4 and 5. So, first question, what is the sign before the constant? So before the constant, which is the 20, we have a positive. So we go down this side of our flow chart. Both signs are going to be the same. Then our second question says, what sign is before the coefficient of x? So our 9 is our coefficient of x, so it's minus 9, so we have a minus before our coefficient of x, and that says that if we have a negative before the coefficient of x, both of our brackets will be negative. Negative, negative. And that's our answer. Okay, let's do it again. In this equation, x squared minus 3x minus 18. Go back to the first question. What is the sign before the constant? This is our constant, minus 18. Actually, before that, we need to look at what are our factors of 18. So we've got 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. There's our factors. What numbers there can make up make up 3? And this is minus 3. So 18 minus 1 isn't going to work. 9 minus 2, 7. 6 minus 3 is going to work. So that's going to be our numbers. So now we've got our brackets. We've got our x's, because we have x in both sets of brackets. We know our numbers are going to be 6 and 3. So we've worked out that we're going to have, because we've got a negative here, we know that we're going to have different signs, so we go down this side. Then we look at what the sign is before the coefficient of x. So our sign for the coefficient of x is minus 3, so we're looking for a negative, so we're going this way. The largest number will be negative. So our numbers are 6 and 3. 6 is our largest number, so 6 is minus and 3 is positive. We can always check these. X times x is x squared. X times plus 3 is plus 3x. Minus 6 times x is minus 6x. Minus 6 times plus 3 is minus 18. Group-like terms, x squared plus 3x minus 6x is minus 3x minus 18. That's the equation we started for. Good luck.